Snowflakes falling big and round, twinkling lights choking out the sound. Candy canes and gingerbread, the smell of Christmas makes me see red. Santa hats on every head, I wanna burn them, leave them all for dead. Oh, it's Christmas, what a drag! Tinsel dreams in a plastic bag. The joy, the cheer, it's all pretend. Come on, let's go piss off your friends. Shiny bows on every gift make my teeth ache. Skating rinks and snowy drift feel so fake. Hot cocoa spills on frozen ground. The carolers sing, I just want them drowned. Deck the halls, yeah, deck them with rage. Rip the script, tear up the stage. Silent night now, scream it loud. Flip the slate, crush the crowd. Oh, it's Christmas, here we go. Fake smiles under mistletoe. The lights, the bells, it's all a scam. Come on, let's go ruin the fam. Snow keeps falling, bury it deep. This town's joy is a promise I won't keep. Christmas is here, yeah. Yeah, go ahead and cheer. I'll be outside smashing reindeer. Oh, it's Christmas, what a drag. Tinsel dreams in a plastic bag. The joy, the cheer, it's all pretend. Come on, let's go piss off your friends. Oh, it's Christmas, here we go. Fake smiles under mistletoe. The lights, the bells, it's all a scam. Come on, let's go ruin the fam. Snow keeps falling, bury it deep. This town's joy is a promise I won't keep. Christmas is here, yeah. Go ahead and cheer. I'll be outside smashing reindeer.
Tiny feet go pitter-patter down the snow-lit halls, checking names and checking twice behind those candy walls. Naughty sneaks and nice daydreamers written big and small. I'm the Christmas elf, I'm on the case, looking for the grins on every face. Naughty or nice, I see it all. I'm the Christmas elf who hears your call. Glitter, dust, and peppermint swirl in my little sack. One for joy and one for kindness, always got your back. Snowflakes dance and whisper secrets as I make my track. Santa's list is long and wild, but I know every single child. I'm the Christmas elf, I'm on the case, looking for the grins on every face. Naughty or nice, I see it all. I'm the Christmas elf who hears your call. Oops, a giggle caught my ear. Was it mischief or good cheer? Spill the cocoa, tell me quick. Are you clever or a trick? I'm the Christmas elf, I'm on the case, looking for the grins on every face. yourself who hears your call.
As many times as it takes. And that's another thing the group's been on lately is doing that with that particular piece and screenshots from it. I can't imagine why Michelle picked that one. But oh God, don't even get me started on how wrong that bullshit is. Okay? I love the propaganda, Michelle. You can go suck my dick about like when you targeted my son, you know, when you didn't want to turn over for Scott H, our little local, and all the directives, and you kind of walked back and like, no, felt wrong, comfortable going there, but then they made you and select for a week, then you were.
Do y'all remember how big into Michelle Walks Jody Sue was? It was like Jody Sue's best friend, her favorite channel. They were so extremely close. At the beginning of this, Cam came out with the information about Jody's son with the picture of the 40-year-old in the woods, and Jody went apeshit, and it broke their friendship.
My son, I was like, fuck you. This is another fuck you, but I will fuck your channel up. I'll try to the best of my ability, bitch. Oh Lord, what is it they called you? Something about a witch. It's fine. If you know, you know. I'll get around to that one of these days. So, I don't know, dude. How far are you into being a homophobic piece of shit, terrible human on this planet? God,
That was probably a really stupid question.
fuck a turkey, you bastard.
Jody gets mad at everybody. Hey, little Dev. You can't chat in her room.
So anyway,
even normal questions.
oh, great. But I have a feeling I know why they're up to. I mean, like, y'all, we were in a blackout, ice out phase, like for real. Suddenly, are you now mentioning me again?
You love it, Jody.
And really hard set. After I called that ICU.
This is the part I want you all to hear. All about ICU and Chris McDonough in the lab. Because we're going to go right into the lab after we listen a little bit to Jody. There's an interview. The lab and Chris McDonough and Josh had their big blow up. They hated each other. Dawn gets on panel and Chris is on panel. They're suddenly talking. Dawn goes to Chris. They talk about the Cold Case Foundation and some other things. That's what we're going to watch. Agree 1,000%. Absolutely. She does. Jody just irritates the fuck out of me sometimes. I don't think she had anything to do with Summer. I do believe she knows things. I don't know what those things are, but if it's not Summer, it's definitely with the behind the scenes money shit, since she was one of the first players within the marathon and the billboards, and with Chase. And oh, Twister. I gotta find my notebook. I wrote a question down for you.
Dun, dun, dun. Oh, better yet, did anybody see things like they weren't supposed to lately? Bless. Fuckers. And by not supposed to, I mean like fuck you. I don't care. So anyway, the thing is, it's all just the same horse shit. All the wrong, but oh, it's being pounded in there, right? This time, I love them rotating. Suddenly, it matters.
I can't find where I wrote it down, but I remember, and I believe I asked you earlier and you did not answer. Can you tell me who TT showed up at the vigil with? Who she was closest with while she was there? Was she there alone? Was her husband there with her? That would be a huge help to my research. Twister.
No, it doesn't. And let me tell you, I'm not the only one around here that said the same thing. I've also, as I recall, said that 26 and 81 connector up here was him. But I do remember in the initial statements being like, somewhere, Bayleton, the truck stop area and all that, and then towards Rogersville, Grassy, the other way, right?
That's not what you said, Jody. What you said was cornbread shit, blue barrel shit, cornbread shit a million times over the last couple years.
Yeah. I'm not the only one. But that they're also, like Michelle's a dipshit over here going, Candace? And she pointed in the direction of the. No, bitch.
Let me show you why I always spoke about Bayleton. It's out by Elizabethton. Twister can vouch for that.
It's like it was, I want to say like 3-4 months ago. I went over to Allie's and I asked Allie if she wanted her and the kids wanted to go up to, I want to call it Ducktown because that's where we planned on going, was Ducktown. And she's like, no, I'm going to sleep, blah, blah, blah. I was like, all right. I was like, well, can I go? And Allie's like, yeah, go ahead. So we took him up to Ducktown with us and stuff and brought him back, and everything was fine. I thought we were good friends, but I guess she's trying to get back at me for some reason. I don't know. Taking the kids like it was, I want to say like 3-4 months ago. I went over to Allie's and I asked Allie if she wanted her and the kids wanted to go up to, I want to call it Ducktown because that's where we planned on going, was Ducktown. And she's like, no, I'm going to sleep.
So, Ducktown, there's an airport connected to Chicken on a Stick on a farm, on Roach Farms. There's an airport that Chicken on a Stick's husband's father has an airplane at. That's in Ducktown, which is right where Baylinton is in Elizabethton. If you heard her 3 or 4 months prior, while her and Allie are supposed to be not talking, she went and picked Hunter up and took Hunter to Ducktown with her, to Baylinton, to that area, that direction. I brought this out. In my opinion, that's when Jody started talking about it. And that's when she would go, oh, your blue barrel shit, your chicken shit, your chicken this, your chicken that. But she never let Baylinton go. Now her stories about Baylinton, in my opinion, are changing, switching up. I don't know why. It's odd.
She didn't. McDonough don't know where the fuck he's at. He's got about a compass as good as Jen's magical imaginary spirits and giant Ryan's goddamn GPS inside of Beach Creek. Right? She pointed towards Sullivan. Y'all are morons. But y'all just try to put anything together, won't you? Thing is, in the long run, it doesn't make a fuck. We're all locals. We know the area. We know our neighbors. All of us know more than you. Most likely. At least where it counts, maybe. Y'all can do whatever you like, say whatever you like. I'll take care of it later.
That's the thing, little Dev. Let me go see. It's so long. I don't know if I'd be able to find it easily. But I actually have a phone call recorded between Jody and myself. And in that phone call, she speaks very highly of Josh. Let me go see if we can listen for a little bit. It's unedited. But it's interesting. It's an interesting listen for sure. Let me see if I could find it. Because I'd like you guys to listen to how close she was to some of these creators. I don't have it easily available. Oh, here, yes, I do. Here's a 17-minute one. God, please, I might sound like an idiot and I don't even know what's going on in my house. Very unedited.
That's the thing. But when we stopped talking, because I thought that best, anyway, what happened was around that time, which was a lot longer, like Eric, Luke, and I still had a relationship far after AC and her bullshit went down. But anyway, so what happened was Luke's uncle died. The company went to his step aunt and or the son or some shit like that, and she started selling off all the equipment. Skylar's family tried to get some all this other shit, and then Luke started working for Lowe's installing doors at a certain point. But yeah, for the longest time, they had a very lucrative drywall construction business that very much did. You know, I mean, everybody
probably worked with Tucker. They probably contracted each other out. I wonder if Dawn ever worked for Luke's family.
Probably. In that store they talk about, everybody season one.
I'm gonna send you this video. I have to go through my history. I'm gonna send you this video I watched the other day about Tucker and somebody who works with him. Jody Sue, something is not right with the whole Linda marathon, her being connected, like something, in my opinion, okay, even though I'm wrong about Squall, I've been right about a lot of fucking things. I knew who Amanda was.
Wrong with Linda, I'll tell you that right now. There's damn sure something wrong with Linda, and I know it.
Yeah. That whole situation with Linda and Ginger Snap, I'm going to be honest with you.
I know her stories have changed. I know that for some reason, and it's changed now to that Summer's head agent was the one that killed her son. And so and then he turns into Summer's head agent from a Washington County police officer to Summer's head agent. Bullshit he does.
Was you ever, when you were arrested for the weed and shit, was that in that sting with Ginger Snap's husband or whatever? Is that for real?
I've never met Ginger Snap, dude, and her husband is not a doctor. None of that ever happened.
Okay.
I have never, ever been in trouble for anything other than what you've seen. And literally every one of my charges, it's actually one charge. I have the original paperwork back here.
No, listen, I come from a crime family. I know exactly what happened. Andy was selling weed and fucking growing weed, and Yins got busted. I mean, fuck, but there was a sting.
Well, he had 1 gram of pot on him.
Well, listen, there was a sting. There was a sting around the same time that you were arrested, and that's what Benny Keys was trying to connect you to.
Now he's trying to connect me to one of the things that I worked as an informant on.
Yeah. See,
It was like one of the biggest in the country, but yeah.
that's what I'm blown away. Like, I really think there's more. Listen, I really think there's more to. I want to know how Dawn got that car. Okay, I get it. He got a good job. He come back from Utah, and all of a sudden he can buy a car.
Nope.
I feel like Tucker got him. There's something between Dawn and Tucker, in my opinion.
That bought him that car.
Huh?
That church bought him that car.
Who, Tucker did?
The church.
The church bought him the car?
Yeah, and Robin and David both had matching fucking cars the first night Summer went missing. When they finally let them up the hill, they all went up one after each other, all in the same exact year and model Subaru, but all in different colors. And I was like, what the fuck? But none of them are registered to anybody except for one of Candace and Dawn's.
What?
Yep.
Don't you find? I find it odd that Robin was Xing out that fucking red truck. I still do.
I don't know. For some weird ass reason, none of us can figure out. Ansley puts up on the wall here a month ago when they do the newest piece on Summer. They say the people with the most whatever around Summer are the PIs, Robin Lane, and they put a photo up of David Dodson, stick it to the brick wall. David Dodson disappeared after putt-putt.
Yeah, that church shit's kind of weird.
Ansley Daniels says the people with the most vested interest in Summer are the PIs, Robin Lane, and David Dodson.
Is this new? Because I'm telling you, I haven't followed anything. Did they do a new piece?
Yeah, this was the latest piece they did, where they're like, yeah, abduction's still on the table.
I have to go look. You're pulling me back in. I never wanted to give up on Summer's case. My own life got chaotic and I couldn't handle it. It wasn't like Summer in particular, but the YouTubers and the hate, I still don't know how you do it every day.
I'm getting there. You know, last night I had somebody tell me to, basically I was like, man, this ain't going to end, and Andy knew it. I was like, when I come out of Ben Hill, I knew this was basically going to end. He was not going to stop with his fake grave rocking and all that, and flip script shit either way. It was going to be hands off. Jody Sue was going to have a body bag, and he'll be able to laugh and jerk off on it when I'm dead. And I was like, is that what it really takes? Is me to fucking die for him to leave our kids?
He said that?
And these people in our messenger last night, one of the pretend YouTubers playing under different clothes, right, agrees with me. They're like, yeah, that's what's going to happen. You're going to have to die for him to leave the kid alone. Like, they're pushing me to, like, suicide or something, dude.
And that's what I told you. You need to... I wouldn't even listen to that shit. You know how Amanda's taking you to court and this, that, and the other? It's defamation. What they're doing is defamation, and what he's doing is threatening you publicly. You need to go file charges.
Each time he comes online, girl, he is wearing my clothes. The detectives here on this line and shit see it, right? But because of a mix-up, this fucking order ran out, and we didn't realize it the other day. He come out full swing and did target my daughter. Now I've got to get another one put into place, and we've already got all that shit going. But however,
but wait, I thought your order went in. I thought your order went in September. No, August.
Yeah, but for some reason the lines are having an argument, and they say it run out the other night.
Oh my
God! The stalkers in the red truck today seem to know.
And you said Coleslaw came public?
Yeah, and put her face on and shit together, and that with them e-begging again like cons and liars and thieves. Anyway, so she comes along. It's like, yeah, I want to be a stepmom. I was supposed to, they're targeting my kid outright. Anyway, so then now the wedding date is set for a date that has to do with me. How would you be such a fucking doormat that your anniversary every year is about your ex's ex or your husband's ex?
Oh.
And narcopaths, that's the thing. You can always tell us like they always have this thing about dates, man, and all this shit. And he is absolutely wearing my clothes each time he comes online. He is absolutely still date oriented. They've made their fucking wedding date about me, dude.
They have a wedding date?
Yeah, on the 19th, that they're wanting people to pay for it. While he works, while he gets the pandemic money, while he's stolen from my kid, while he's working for a
Dude,
fucking
I
job
swear to
for
God,
him.
like a week ago, I checked YouTube and everybody was like done talking about Summer. What the fuck?
Oh no, they ain't. You know, oh no, they're not. If they're done talking about Summer, they're not done destroying me.
Oh my God, Jody Sue.
I'm in every video. My children are in every fucking video. Andy is now come alive and full blast, and they're trying to push money to him for fucking attorneys and go.
Is Amanda still leaving comments and shit? Is she
under like 900 different profiles? Yep.
You need to start screenshotting all of them.
I have, but I can't prove they're her. But I know they're her.
What
Man,
names do you have? What names do you have? Because I have some that prove that it's her.
One of them's Alexandria something.
Yes, I have proof of that one. I have proof it's her. She says, she tells me she's Amanda Athay, and I have it. Give me a day or two. Listen, I'm still trying to figure out how to get my dad's ashes, my sister's baby, my mom don't want to die or go to a home, so she's asking me to make her survive and live. Like, my life is chaotic right now. I don't know where my day is going to go, and I didn't sleep. So I'm going to lay down for a little bit. When I wake up, I'm going to make the phone calls I have to make because California is 4 hours behind us, and that's where my dad's ashes are. So I have time. But then as soon as I'm done with that and doing what I got to do today, I will dig through everything I have left. I will message my friend. I have, and it was in here we go. Now you're going to have me go look, because it was in one of my recent videos before I quit YouTube, where Amanda Athay, I made a video about it, says, my name is Amanda Athay. From that Alexandra profile. Oh, look, I think I got it right here. I do have it. I have all of them. Hold on. Alexandria Nicholas. I wonder why. Maybe if you grow the fuck up. Wait, hold on. No. Yep, I have. This was the video I made. It's in parts. I don't have it all the way together because I deleted the actual video. Bring it. You messed with the wrong person. This woman talks like she's in the fucking... She thinks she's in the fucking days of like...
No. No, I know.
Like...
I know, girl.
Like
I know.
She talks like she's like king of the world, like she's King Alexandria.
She does that in person too. It's always about money or what she has, or
here she wrote me. There are people on YouTube, Facebook who know who I am. That know I am not Amanda or chicken on a stick. I am Alexandria Nicholas. The strong accusations reported you. Like, who the fuck talks like that? I hope she goes to court talking like that.
80.
But hold on, in this one, before she made the Andrea Nicholas, I have to go through each and every. I have a lot of them, so you got to give me a little bit of time. First comment made. Hold on. No, this was about Krama. It's the same video. It's the same messages. I got to put them together, and I'll have to figure out where it is. It's somewhere in here where from a profile that's very similarly I can't say that word, named Alexandria. She has another one where she's Alexandra something. And she says, "Hi, I'm Amanda. I'm chicken on a stick."
Yep.
And I have it. So I will send that to you. That'll prove that that's her.
And see, I had her blocked, right? I couldn't see the comments. I had to go on another phone, another account. So it shows she had no. She blocked me. I was like, what the fuck? Who's this Alexandria person that Hooves and all them are? This was just a couple days ago. But because of what they were saying and her following me over to ELP's group, I knew it was her. So then I go under another profile and so just y'all are aware that Alexandria person there is definitely Amanda.
So I didn't get these court papers. What happens if I don't show up? I can't get there.
Well, they will serve you. They have like 14 days or something. But the thing is that if you can't get here and nobody represent you, you're fucked. However, my lawyer can represent us both, and you don't have to be.
Okay. All right.
And if I have enough.
That is how our phone call also started out before I hit the record button. As you see, Jody Sue was bribing me with an attorney. She was telling me her attorney would represent me if I got all her proof for her. She wanted me to dig for her. I dug, but she didn't have to bribe me to do so because I was being served in a lawsuit as well. So, yeah, she talks about people doing bribery and this, that, and the other. There's Jody Sue literally bribing me. Crazy shit.
To make sure that we're both offended, you know what I mean? Enough to just pile on her.
Yeah, I don't know what I have. I have to go through all of this because I did delete. Oh my God, I deleted so much shit.
Then not only does she not win, we can
sue the fuck out of her. Yeah. All you have to do is prove is she was on there first.
Yeah, and then I can sue you and me both. Can then they'll turn it around and start a suit against her. Plus, she's gonna be in deep shit for lying because there are signatures on this shit where she lied to a goddamn judge.
Yeah.
And to notaries several times. She's gonna be sitting her ass in jail.
Yeah. She's gonna be something. It's gonna be more than that. I hope her husband's family has money. To me, it sounds like it sounds like they're trying to
silence me.
Yeah. Yep. Her husband probably found out what she was doing. My question is, truth, there's so many times I feel like Jody helped set that lawsuit up. Then there's times I feel like maybe it was set up because it's a possibility Jody Sue and I have both share a blood relative. And they didn't want us to find out, or they thought we knew. I don't fucking know. My lawsuit makes no sense. The court papers in the lawsuit make no sense. I have them. I can read them to you someday. I'm not going to go dig them out right now. But the accusations were so fucking ridiculous. It was filed under real estate instead of being filed under a lawsuit for defamation. It was hidden. The judge was quick to dismiss it. It was crazy. I don't even understand. Benny, Krama, and Gavel, Shay, all introduced my lawsuit to me before I got court papers, before I even knew about it. They told me it was coming. It was a threat. So I possibly really do think it could be a setup or a tactic a way to silence Jody and myself. But from what? Because after this lawsuit came 4 more fucking lawsuits pounded on me from a woman named Linda Cutshaw. We've spoken about it a million times. I don't like the games these people fucking played as locals in Summer's case. I didn't do nearly the things that others have done to these people. There was no need for me to have some lawsuit like that, and it was unwinnable, which is why any of them ever even made it to court. All 5 lawsuits dropped. The attorney wrote me. I have text messages. I showed them one day in a live. I gotta find them. I have some sort of tower and power, is what he wrote me after being a dick. I'll read them to you guys one day. I have to find them. Yep, a way to shut me up, but to shut me up from what? I really do truly feel it was a silencing tactic. And the only reason I recorded Jody was because she was fucking bribing me. Is why is she still going on YouTube and shit? Like, she's fucking crazy.
Yep. And I need to prove she's still there. And
so you're talking to the PIs now?
I mean, we've had contact off and on now. There's months we did not. But it's limited in nature the other day.
Okay, so when I talked to them, I gave them Amanda's name. You should see if you could find out if they looked into her many profiles, and they can give you a report. And then right after this, I showed this, TT started reaching out to me, and so did Sage Sleuth. When TT was reaching out to me, she was sending me screenshots. This would be a really good time. Hold on, let me go to my community posts. TT started reaching out to me, and TT was showing me that she was in 3-way calls with Squall and the PIs. And she told me, it's in my text messages. I have to find that because I didn't share that. But she had told me that during that time they mixed her up with Chicken on a Stick because both of their real names are Amanda. So Squall didn't mean to call her. Squall meant to call Chicken on a Stick. But she somehow ended up in a 3-way call with Trudy and Squall. Fucking odd as shit to me. Just the weird fucking... it's beyond me, but the screenshot is on my community post. You can go look at it, and it's the actual 3-way call right here, and then something about an outfit that she found that Nesbitt had showed. 1 minute here.
Other things are more important. Come before that. Now, here's where it got wild, though. This is the button I touched. Okay? First of all, McDonough went live with this hard inset of... And I don't even want to go over like 15 or 20 minutes, watch this shit. But there's some goofy shit in there. I wish I'd written down timestamps for it. I know I sent times to others, and the Laugh Fest we were all fucking having at his expense again. And I hate to say it, but Mary's too. Good try, kiddos. The dynamic duo. Now, look here. It didn't make any sense. It still doesn't. But I believe what they're also trying to attempt to pull and manipulate the trigger bitch is Dawn, right? Past few days, you've had the narrative that they went quiet and they're blah, blah, blah. They want somebody back around hard to figure out what the fuck's going on or if they know anything, okay? It would look like McDonough, once again, is trying to use the sister stuff. Mary is telling him supposedly that Dawn, oh yeah, Don's not cooperating with the TBI or FBI, whoever the hell, right? Because they're calling all the family members, wondering if they've heard from him. Excuse me? That don't sound quite right. Think about it.
Jesus, guys, I apologize. I just put the wrong damn thing on. We're going back to the other video. My son needed me. His grandmother gave him an extra turkey yesterday, and it needed to be cooked by today. So they're cooking a turkey, but apparently my son and daughter-in-law have never cooked a damn turkey. They couldn't find the gizzards, and my son Bailey's telling me, help me find the gizzards to the turkey. Mom, help me. I'm like, dig in the damn turkey. He's like, I can't find it. So then I went downstairs, turned the turkey over, and showed him where the neck is, and was like, look, dig in there. And he was like, oh, Jesus. How many idiots does it take to screw in a light bulb? I love my kid, but sometimes. All right. I apologize for putting the wrong video on. Let me go back to this phone call since this is where we went. And I want to get to Josh at the lab too. Stating that those are all her.
Yeah, I'll check with Trudy and see if they've looked into it all.
Yeah. Tell her that I'm the one from Pittsburgh that contacted them. You know, because he was like standing up for you when I spoke to him.
Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't do shit, dude. And here's the thing, we're working on getting me a polygraph test. And the weird part is Chris McDonough's been trying to interview me over and over. The last time he was here, he came through twice in like a week or two period. And he literally, they thought, I guess, or one of them had stalked me. But they knew I was going to oncology. I posted a video, I think, where I was getting my infusions a couple weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
And bitch is in the fucking issue with Kevin. And they say they've had her to fuck up the house. And I was like,
we're going to have to get back to that because these are not in order. And my God, I'm going to make this so you can't see it because I think I show my fat pajama ass in one of these. So what I'm going to do is make it transparent so you don't got to see a bad picture of me. We'll throw a pretty picture up there. What do you think? How about this for Christmas? All right.
she is in the fucking issue with Kevin. And they say they've had her to fuck up the house. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And then we go home. I was like, you're going to turn this motherfucker around right now. And instead, and he's like, I can't believe this motherfucker, this and the other, right? So then we turn around and we end up meeting them at her aunt's house, like whatever the fuck it is, 2 doors down from Andy's parents' house. And Andy gets out the fucking Jeep.
She's telling us about how now this is real. I caught it on Jody Sue's Facebook. Chicken on a Stick was stalking Jody Sue for years and years and years. She was upset with her. This is why. That's what Jody Sue's telling me. Oh, Jesus. Right video.
And it's like, bitch, look here. Don't you ever be on my fucking property again. Because he knew she was in his inbox calling him white trash and all kinds of shit because she thought after I cut contact with her, I wouldn't know that she, because when I did that, she started immediately trying to message Andy, but I could see the message. And I guess she assumed nobody else, it would be her trying to fuck with me.
Amy and Jody Sue's sister Amy and Chicken on a Stick were best friends in high school. They both do real estate. Jody doesn't like when I talk about her sister, and she keeps trying to make me promise I won't talk about her sister. But how can you not? Especially when her best friend's trying to sue both Jody Sue and I. Why would you try to sue your best friend's sister? That's ridiculous. That's why I think it was a setup.
Andy and lie about me, do whatever, you know. And that's just the type of devious she is.
So do you think
but
she
Andy-
had a thing for Andy?
No, it's just she's crazy, man. Seriously. And she thought, well, I'm pissed at this bitch, so I'm gonna talk to Andy and be like, blah blah blah. That's what she did. At the same time, she gets a hold of my sister Amy and starts talking shit, wanting to know why I'm so mad at her. And my sister is like pretty neutral, like she'll try to calm the situation, right? But she knows how Amanda is. She's the one told me to stay the fuck away from her. Then, but Amy will say one thing to another, right? So Amy to Amanda was like, I don't know what I'm like. But to me, she was like, stay the fuck away from that bitch. I was like, I know, Amy. And we'd had that conversation months prior that Amanda was nothing but trouble. Stay as far away from her as I could while I was friends with Luke and Eric. And I'll be damned if it wasn't trouble. But that's the first people Amanda did. She reached out to my sister to start the rumor.
I was chatting about that. Luke and Eric are also friends with both Jody Sue and Amy and Chicken on a Stick. Chicken on a Stick was apparently, according to Jody, having an affair or extremely close with Luke behind her husband's back. I don't know if there's truth to it. I'm only telling you what I was told. And then there was another guy that they brought up to the property to buy a car that Chicken on a Stick was close to. Apparently, Chicken on a Stick liked to save men. But at the beginning of Summer's case, Luke was in Squall's group on Facebook playing fuck shit games behind Jody Sue's back, talking shit while pretending to be her best friend. That's how I caught Chicken on a Stick and figured out who Chicken on a Stick was. When I was able to tell Jody Sue how Chicken on a Stick was backstabbing her and who she was. And Jody Sue was floored, and then came the lawsuit. You're not too smart at this, Athie.
The poor me bullshit, you know. And that's what she do. She's fucking loops, right? So then, and she always has a look. So then, what she does is she reaches out to Andy too. And that, I mean, like, who does that? Is this kindergarten place? Like, no, ain't none of nobody's business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, girl, we ain't too. But she wants to win people and all this shit, you know, and she's always stirring fucking shit. So then, what happens is, yeah, after that, the green card thing happens. Oh, a year later or something. That's how far I was like, is this bitch kidding me? But Andy jumps out of the fucking car on her and is like, motherfucker, do not be on my property again. Don't. And he told Kevin, he's like, me and you are not going to get along. If you're
So
around
wait,
that bitch,
she was sneaking on your property?
No, Kevin didn't know what the bitch was up to. And she had him bring her to our property saying she wanted to look at that green car.
That's what I'm saying, Jody. So you don't find something fishy with all of that? And then all of a sudden, a year later, Summer's missing?
No, well, a year later, this was about 4 years before Summer.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, it goes to prove she knows the area and she's capable of sneaking up on land.
Well, yeah, her family just lives right there across the county line on the Sullivan side. That's where she was kind of raised. And she is semi-kin to Andy. However, I know Andy doesn't deal around the crazy bitch. That's why I knew what she was saying was untrue, and her going on with, well, Andy, he's got so much support in the community and all this. And I'm like, you lying bitch. So then what happens is, here she is involved now.
I'm gonna go over that tomorrow, Larkin Brave. Chicken on a Stick came out on Squall and CSI's panel. She was a secret friend to people that knew Jody Sue, and she had all the deets on Jody Sue and Andy's relationship and life, and it was all kinds of bullshit. I'll have a whole lot tomorrow. I'll try to find some of the panels she was on. I know I have them, and we can watch them tomorrow. I wrote it down, so I'll make sure I put that priority.
Now that Summer's banished, playing chick on a stick, pretending she knows all about my life, and and blah blah blah. And all she ever spoke on wasn't Summer. It was making me look suspect. It was always my name, dude, coming out of her damn mouth.
So you seen her and was in contact with her before she went on Squalls?
I mean, I had not seen or heard from Athie since the green.
Oh, okay. It's just odd, Jody Sue. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, it to me, looking at everything I seen and seeing who's friends with who, and I'm off YouTube right now. You're kind of blowing me away a little bit,
Admitted in one panel, because her and Squall have a good laugh about how she's been watching me all these years on Facebook, which tells me where I've got her blocked. That means she's got other profiles. And the thing is, that means she's got access onto my Facebook somehow. And I know everybody on mine. So that means she's using somebody else's to do it. Or she's pretending to be somebody else we know, and I don't realize it, because all those videos she's talking about with Squall that she watched were private ones that Squall stole, but Athie, and they make mention of it, had watched prior. The only way that could have been done is if she's actually ensconced on my damn Facebook somehow.
Scott?
So, Athie has been stalking me for the entire 5
years. Right? That's what I'm saying. What if she's trying to set you up for Summer?
I don't know, man, because she has.
Well, listen, the night I told you about her and you were live when you found out about her, and this is what I was trying to get to you, with you before. You had started whispering, and a lot of people didn't pay attention, but Jody Sue, I was in tuned, And you mentioned Luke and Tucker. Did you see the new video that came out? I don't know how long ago, because I really haven't been paying attention. And it just come across, but somebody who worked for Tucker had made mention that somebody wanted to, that somebody in Tucker's family wanted to adopt their children, pay them for a child. They wanted a girl in the Tucker's family.
I've not seen that.
Okay, do you know that Linda is the daycare provider for, I'll send it to you, I'll find it, it's in my history.
County, all that shit, supposedly, she used to send me pictures of inside the daycares, inside of her house. It's goofy. But Linda's not Linda. But there's something wrong with Linda. And Linda's vanished since the Post-it Note 3 conversation with TM panel where Scott was on there with Post-it Note 3, and they suddenly got along again.
No, that was months ago. Linda's still around.
I know.
And Linda is still around, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. That day I was talking to you, I got real sus again of you. Because while I'm talking to you, she's messaging me.
Oh. Yeah, she's still got her real, like the Facebook, the Linda, whatever, and she'll message her. However, she's under different clothes and cat right now.
Can I tell you? I want to tell you something, but I can't. Because I don't know if there's truth to it, and I don't want to get out there until I know.
She was used as a weapon to destroy basically Crummet and Gavel's fucking quote database. But Crummet and Gavel, they've become just as pointed weapons as you and Shay were.
Oh yeah,
But
they're
Shay,
idiots.
well, she's drinking Kool-Aid, but behind the scenes, I know even like a month ago, Crummet and Gavel are like, yeah, Jody's innocent, but we're still doing this. And but you know, and it's gotten worse though, to where they almost believe it, even behind scenes. But they don't realize how much they were fucked with. That their database was literally destroyed from word go once they were brought here. And like the Lori Methvin character from Facebook, that profile / Robert Methvin is the string that ties a lot of these, right?
Who?
Lori and a Robert Messman profile. The one that hangs out in the Chill After Dark groups, other places you'll find them. They're actually one of the hackers and weapons. They're a fake thing used by this group. And they are the ones that draw in Crummet and Gavel and are ensconced in their Facebook court group that finds out about the database first. Then Crummet and Gavel are brought onto YouTube and preyed upon. Scott 8 puts Linda inside of there, feeding them bullshit that kind of destroys it and makes them have to go to Benny Keys. And that's basically all they got left at that point is what they think is the golden egg, which is the Discord group. Right? They think they've really got something.
Man, I feel like I need to go get me a fucking Discord to figure it out because I don't understand Discord.
Discord's fucked. And you ain't getting nowhere with that.
Okay, but anyways, let me go back a little bit because I didn't mean to go that far into this. My question was that night you were whispering, you mentioned Luke being like intertwined with Tucker, right?
Maybe because his family owned or still owns a business that does drywall and housing and art shit. And then when Luke's uncle died, not long before he stopped hanging out and talking and shit with the Eric stuff, which Luke.
Okay, these are extremely long. We got through the first two. I'm going to write it down. We'll come back tomorrow and go over some more and some chicken on a stick since you guys seem to be in tune with the phone call. But right now, I have to move on or we'll never get out of here. I wanted to listen to the time Dawn Wells. Let me put this down here so I remember what I'm doing and fix it. I want to go over the time Dawn Wells was on Josh the Lab for the first time talking to Chris McDonough after Chris McDonough and Dawn Wells's big fight. And then we'll do some more Jody Sue tomorrow because that phone conversation's at least another hour and a half long.
Hey, Don.
How y'all doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. I just listening to all this crap over and over and over for 2 years. It's getting old.
Well, yeah. I mean, I could understand that from your point of view. We're going over a phone call. Do you remember this? It wasn't a phone call. It was actually an interview. Do you remember this interview?
I don't know. I don't remember who it is. I mean, you know,
Jeff Bubba, I believe his name is.
Yeah, we had a lot of interviews we shouldn't have had interviews with. McDonough's the worst one.
Well, he's right here. You can tell him if you want.
I know he's right there. I should have never done anything with him.
What did he do? Let me just ask you really fast to be and be completely fair and honest. What did he do?
I don't know why he's the way he is. I mean,
no, it's not about. I'm asking, what did he do?
Well, I don't understand why y'all going over this for 2 years straight. How does this? I mean, like you're, you know, like a witch hunting for every little clue. And I know I get it. It's about your YouTube channel, you know, and that's really what it amounts to. Right. That's fine. You know, but Hey, I thought you took off on a flight.
Someone's here. Get on.
Hold on, I'll be right there. I'll be right there. Hold on a minute. I will.
All right.
Just give me a little few minutes. Sorry about that.
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't understand, how all this helps find summer or anything else, And everybody bitches because I'm not out, looking constantly for her. Well, damn, send me money where I can go look for her 24/7, and that's what I'll do. Because ain't nobody sent me no damn money ever, and nobody sends my wife money like everybody wants to think. That's not true. I have to work for a living.
We weren't talking. I wasn't even covering that.
Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize. A lot of people say stuff like that. I'm not saying you're saying that, but
I wasn't. I'm not interested in her really. I'm not interested really with Candace and Kathy's relationship.
right.
We're just talking about this interview. To be honest.
Right. I don't know which interview it is. A lot of times, when people do interviews, Chris McDonough's good at it to push the narrative and everything, and twist everything up. Y'all are good at that stuff. You got good at that.
Don,
I'm sorry. I'm not trying. Okay. Yeah.
Let me ask you though. What did McDonough do to you that you?
So at this time, I don't even think Dawn knew Chris was on panel. He seemed surprised when Chris started talking.
Feel is so egregious. I really am truly curious because all he did was do an interview with your wife and that was agreed to and play it.
Yeah, and he acted like a snake when he went to my house. Oh, he's hiding in the shed. Oh, they're watching porn on the TV and all kinds of bullshit like that, like he does.
Well, I don't think he did say that it wasn't porn.
Funny you say that, believe me. Because Chicken on a Stick owns a hemp farm. Her husband does. And a lot of real estate in Florida and in Tennessee. Oh, yeah. It is definitely legal. I don't doubt that they're not out here. I don't doubt that they're not hackers. Who knows? I'm hacked. That's 100% My Google account is hacked.
I don't know. That's what I remember.
I could remove them, but I let them stay. Birdies.
Something like that,
Okay, we'll clear it up right now. Were you in the shed?
Well, hell no.
Okay,
I was
fair enough.
Did Candace call you from the dollar store?
Hell, I don't know what that's about. I have no idea.
Then how do you know I said the porn thing?
Well, I seen it on your YouTube channel. I watched it.
Well, I didn't know what it was. It was Girls Gone Wild, right?
No, it was not, because you can see the screen on your you can see the screen when you said that.
Well,
and it was not Girls Gone Wild. Whatever I don't know. I'm not sure what it was, but
you still there?
He's still, I think he's probably going through a.
Yeah, he's at a bank.
Someone's blowing my phone up now because they don't want me talking to the guy.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about summer because I think I can still help you.
Whoa.
Out of respect for each other.
I think he's going in and out of reception.
People are going to stop him to talk to me, and I have no idea why. Because he wants to talk to me, evident of the fact that he came up.
Right. Well,
So I'm here to talk. I'm here to help.
And we weren't even talking about. I'm not talking about the money thing that they were been accused of today.
Another day for them.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
Yeah.
It's probably.
Go ahead, Don. You're back.
I'm not. You can't hear me.
Yeah, you're back, man. Go ahead.
You can hear me right now.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, because I can't hear it, and I'm not even on StreamYard. That's weird. I think Doug Um's blowing my phone up.
Who?
We don't really need to say his name.
Oh,
yeah, of course he is. Isn't that the guy that got arrested in the Orrin and Orson search?
I have no idea. They're all criminals.
Yeah. Anyway, I know he did actually for something.
So Don, if you can hear me, let's talk about it. You want to talk about it. I know you do. And I want to listen. Okay, well, let's keep playing the stuff while he figures it out.
No, but she was abducted. There's, I forget how you put that, reasonable deduction or however you say that. You get taught in school, but by that theory there, yeah, she's been abducted in my mind, 100%. I know Candace wouldn't lie to me about any of the facts. She has no reason to,
But, and so, reasonable deduction. He's like, well, nothing could have happened. Nothing did happen. The only thing that could have happened is an abduction. And that's his reasoning. You there, Don?
And that's based on Candace not lying to him.
Correct. Yeah, yes, he's standing by Candace for
she wouldn't lie.
I think somebody said, or you told the media that she was lie detector test, and you took one also. Yeah, and that you all were cleared of any suspicion as based on that.
Well, I don't know if we were completely cleared because that's not admissible in court.
Any thoughts on that? He wants another link. Jesus.
Can he come back?
Yeah, he can. I mean, it's only fair to let him. I'm gonna kick him here. Let him come back in, and then we'll just keep going. Let's just keep going.
Yeah, but yeah, we both. I mean, at first, I didn't get no sleep for 2 days. I couldn't sleep. I was, it was the worst misery and pain I've ever felt in my life. But I wasn't able to take a lie detector test. They made me wait a little bit, but when I did take it, I passed. They made Candace wait 5 days longer to take hers, because she just wasn't able to. She tried and she wasn't able to.
Okay, so hold on a second.
Well,
you there, Don?
Yeah, but they're gonna keep blowing up my phone. That cuts me off. I don't know if I can turn something off or they can't call. I don't know.
Do you have an iPhone?
Yes.
I believe that if you put it in airplane mode or do not disturb, put it on do not disturb. You can swipe up at the top and it's like personal driving, do not disturb.
All I got is a little airplane. That's all I see.
So I think that if you are you on Wi-Fi at the moment?
I'm on. Yeah. Well, I don't think so. No. So I don't know.
Okay. Well, let's just.
So what do you want to say, Don? I'm listening.
I mean, we want to find Summer just as bad as anybody, and everybody acts like, we're I don't know. It's just heartbreaking.
No, I understand it, and it's. Go ahead.
We've been through pure hell, and nobody can be prepared for losing a child. I'm sorry. You will lose your damn mind. You don't know what to do. You don't know how to act. You don't know what to say. You are mentally numb. A piece of you is gone. I mean, I don't know unless you've been through it. I mean,
Well, you do know, yeah, both you and Candace know I lost my son.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, somebody tried to abduct a child of yours too.
Are you? He tried. Well, that was my oldest boy,
right?
But my middle son, he was 20 years old when he died.
Yeah, that hurts. Hurts a lot.
Right, and so I do understand where you're coming from, and actually, that's why one of the reasons, I came over early on, and remember the time when, after, quite frankly, that program, when it first aired with Candace, I mean, she was actually put in a pretty good light. I mean, very fair, balanced people, responded on that. And you got mad at me, remember, and called because you thought, because I said I thought you were in the shed, that you demand. Remember that?
Yeah.
And you cussed me out from top to bottom, and which I didn't understand it, but I'm okay with it. But at the same time, I was trying to help you.
I'll never understand Chris's accusation about Dawn being in the shed in the damn first place. Why he made such a big deal out of it, and it angered Dawn, and it did cause a fight. That's not how somebody professional cop should act to anger the father. It's hindrance. That's my opinion.
And we just didn't click at that moment. So what can the Cold Case Foundation do for you? Because I think the biggest problem that we're having, and when I say we, i.e. a lot of people, and I think even yourself, I really believe that, if you're not there, then Candace is. And I think that you are, maybe this was an accident.
That's another question I have. Why are you involved in the Cold Case Foundation when Summer's case at this point was extremely far from cold? Lawson was pissed off. Lawson asked Chris McDonough to get the fuck out of there, and I believe it fucked Equisearch up.
And there's a lot more to the story, but the
thing of it is, see, I live with Candace. I know Candace. I know her emotions. I know she's got a severe broken heart. You people don't see that side of her. You've seen a lot of negative things, and I apologize for that. Yeah, we turned to alcohol and everything else. We screwed up. But you guys haven't seen her broken heart like I have. I've seen her mental state. I know how badly she's hurting, and I know how much she loved her little girl. And I know even if there was a mistake, she knows better than to do something shady. She would call an ambulance. She would call law enforcement right away. She would never try to do something shady like that.
Well, I'm not saying it's shady, Don, and you're not saying, I hear where you're coming from, and I respect what you're saying, but you and I both know we've been around the block a couple of times. And and people get stuck. And when they get stuck, they panic. And that's not shady. That's just a panic.
Yeah,
go ahead, I'm listening.
It's nothing like that. I know in my heart, I can try to, convince you guys all day long, but I know in my heart, somebody took our daughter. I know that.
Okay, how do you know that?
just by, like I said, by her emotions, everything we've been through, and not only that, you guys are leaving out a hell of a lot.
Well, like what? What are we leaving out? So let's not leave anything out.
Okay, my boys were home. My
Okay.
boys were the very last ones to see my daughter.
Okay.
Okay, they were upstairs, remember, playing their games. I've talked to my boys, extensively before, well, during the police interviews and everything else. They they the police took my boys to specialists because they can't just outright question them because they're underage, and they talk to them, and I've talked to them, and they feel bad. They feel like it's their fault even. But I try to assure them that.
Why would they think it's their fault? Just because they were the last ones to see Summer?
They're going to keep blowing up my phone. I don't know why they do this.
That's all right.
Because
I'm trying to eat and type. They keep saying things I want to respond to. This is why I believe the boys. Hold on a minute. This is why I believe the boys are innocent, because they would take the kids to a specialist. I've had to do that when my boys were SA'd by my brother. And it's no joke. You're behind a glass wall. You can't see anything. You can hear. They allow the parents to look at it. But the police would be able to make them boys crack. I truly believe the boys don't know nothing and weren't involved in anything just because they went to a specialist and was questioned. I have no clue. I'm really hi, Howdy. Yeah, it sure seems that way. I believe he has family ties up here, right directly to me. Okay, hold on.
because, like you say, they're more concerned about what they're doing. But
Right.
why did they or why do they feel guilty?
Okay. Well, let me explain because, Summer asked them to please go downstairs. And she wanted to go downstairs and play with toys, and they wanted to play their games, which I understand. They all had phones and games, and they was watching that building. I can't remember what it's called, where you build stuff on the TV. I don't know what it's called, but
probably Minecraft.
Yes, Minecraft. That's it. Yes,
Minecraft is what we used to call it.
Right.
But go ahead.
But yeah, so she went downstairs by herself, and next thing you know, Candace comes in after helping her mother. That's her words. I wasn't there. I'm going by what she said.
Okay.
But also, I'm going by what my boys said. Okay.
Did she fall down the stairs, Don?
No.
Okay. Could she have?
Even if she did, I had some side barriers and stuff, and
I'm not saying she did. I said even if, like you just said, even if she did, you had side barriers. But could she? Even
if she did, I mean, she's a tough girl. I mean, kids are pretty tough, when they're young.
Had she ever fallen down those stairs before?
No.
Ever?
No, man. She could get around good. She's very smart and very agile.
Okay.
No.
So she wants to go downstairs to play with stuff. Then what?
Well, as far as we know, I mean, Mom come in looking for her. They couldn't find her nowhere. They looked for a while and couldn't find her. And she called me, and I says, "Hang up for me. Call 911 right away, just in case, you can't find her right away or whatever. Just to make sure, call 911." And when I got off the phone with her, as soon as she hung up, I called 911 from where I was at, and they had to switch me over from the 911 operator to the 911 operator in Hawkins County.
Mm-hmm.
And I flew home as fast as I could.
Right.
And then when I got there, I drove straight to the bottom property just because I know I have a good view of the hill, and I seen my neighbor to the left of me. I seen all three of my boys to the right of me together, like I told them, always be together if you're going to be out off the hill anyway. And when I seen that they were down on the bottom property, basically looking around, and she wasn't on top of the hill, I figured she wasn't there. And then that's when it got real crazy. I drove up to the top of the hill, and there was like 1 or 2 police cars there at that time. And of course, they're questioning us. They're doubting. I felt in my heart right then that she was taken.
What were they doubting?
Well, I was trying to tell them that I don't think she's here. I think she's been taken, because if she wouldn't leave the top of the hill, she wouldn't leave from around the house.
Mm-hmm.
I had her pretty well. I mean, I show all my kids videos on YouTube of because we got grizzly bears, we got wild dogs and other things. And so I was worried that so I showed them things to try to put a scare into them, not to wander off. And Summer would not wander off by herself. No way.
Mm-hmm.
No way.
So when Candace went down the first time, it sounds like she went looking for Summer.
She got in her mother's truck.
Did she go into the basement?
Well, yeah, she looked all over it first, of course.
And that's when she called you.
Yeah, when she couldn't find her right away, she called me.
Okay, was the door open or closed, if you remember? Was it locked?
Well, I wasn't there, and we try to keep that basement door locked.
Okay, because people have said that you're the only one with the key.
Wide open all the time.
Right, but people have said you're the one.
No,
go ahead.
There is no key to the basement door. I think we lost that.
Okay, what about the deadbolt, brother?
Well, we just lock the regular lock. We don't lock. Well, we'll lock the deadbolt if we're in the house. We can lock the deadbolt from the inside on the basement. We use the upstairs door if we're going somewhere or whatever, and lock that one.
Okay, that morning when you woke up to go to work,
right,
was that door opened or closed, or locked or open?
I assume it was locked because we lock the doors at night.
Okay, so at some point then, if you're assuming it was locked that morning, which way did you go out that door, or did you go back out through the kitchen to go to work?
I go upstairs and go to the kitchen to get in my truck and head to work.
Okay, so you go to work, but that day you didn't take your truck, right?
Yeah, I used the Subaru a day before.
Mm-hmm.
I had fired Dudley because I was sure he was on meth and acting all crazy and stuff. I mean, just out of his mind. And I even looked on YouTube as to how people act when they're on meth, and he fit every single one of them.
Well done, dude.
Well,
come on, man. You've seen 1,000 people on meth, bro. You don't have to look on YouTube for that one, buddy. Come on. That's like a cop looking around for donuts in a donut shop and not knowing what they look like. Come on.
You hear me? Hey.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. What are we laughing about? Hey, I don't deal with meth.
No, I didn't say you. I said
you've seen meth. You've seen people on meth before.
Seen people on meth. I mean, it's kind of crazy to look on YouTube. So I said, yeah, go ahead.
Well, you tend to forget after a while, if unless it's something you're dealing with all the time, you forget little things like that. But I knew he was out of his damn mind and saying all kinds of crazy stuff, and he couldn't do his job. And anyway, I don't want to talk about that dude. Anyway,
okay. All right, that's fine.
It's been proven that he just got busted, for all the charges he's got. That's all the proof I need.
All drugs, no problem. So let's get back to you decide to take the car that day.
I took it the day before, I think, because I've been driving my truck for a long time. We went through this already. I just wanted to put some miles on the Subaru. So.
Oh, okay. So you wanted to drive the Subaru, and you loaded it up with all your stuff.
The day before, and the day before, we had actually had a welfare case where somebody called and said I was letting the kids run around with loaded guns, which was totally idiotic and stupid. So they closed that case the day before. That night, about 7 p.m., they was out there and closed the case. And the very next day, Summer come on missing. But anyway, back to what you're saying.
No, that's fine. So somebody had snitched you off that there was a CPS problem of some sort?
No, they said we was letting the kids run around with loaded guns.
Okay. Well, and CPS worked through that. We don't need to talk about that stuff.
Yeah, they closed that case the day before.
Okay, that's cool. So let's go back to that morning. What time do you wake up?
As soon as the sun hits me, I don't set an alarm because I usually work late. So as soon as the sun hits me and it's morning time, I just get up and go and work as late as I can.
And are you working 7 to 3 or what's your typical hours?
I usually get up and when I go, I work till I just can't stand, hardly walk no more or whatever. I work as late as I can, try to, make good money.
What's the earliest you wake up?
Maybe 6 or 7. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Summertime, June, probably about 7.
Okay, so about 7 o'clock in the morning, you get up, you go out. Where was Summer that morning?
She was right next to me.
Okay, tell me about that.
Well, like what?
Well, you tell me those memories.
This never made sense to me. It takes 30 minutes to drive to Kingsport. Dawn says he leaves at 7:30. When he wakes up, he gets up and leaves. Summer's still in bed sleeping next to him. Wouldn't Mom already be in the car driving to Kingsport to take Grandma to her appointment? If she has to be there at 8 a.m., as Candace stated. Something tells me these people never went to Kingsport that day. Something tells me Hunter was a cover-up. Something tells me that was an old video at the lake. Maybe the day before. Just an opinion.
She usually plays all day, and then she would always ask me, say, Dad, will you take me to bed? Because I'm tired, and so I'd always take her downstairs and put her in bed and cover her real good, make sure the doors are locked and everything like that, and get her to sleep. And then, I might stay up for a little while longer or whatever. But she would always want to go to bed a little bit more early than us.
And what time did she go to bed the night before?
Probably about, 8:30, maybe 9, something like that.
Okay, and what time did you go to bed?
Not probably shortly after.
So when you got down there, was she already in bed?
Yeah, she was asleep.
In your bed, i.e. your Candace. What is that, a king or a queen down there? I can't remember.
It's a king.
Okay, so she's sound asleep, or is she awake?
Sound asleep.
Okay, and you get in, and then what do you recall about?
I'll be right there. I'll make it short. Just give me a minute. Give me a few minutes.
Okay.
Baby. Okay.
What? You okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. Hold on. Okay, I'm fine.
That's fine.
Everybody's giving me hell because I'm trying to talk to y'all. I mean, you know how it is.
Yeah, I'm a lightning rod. It's all good though, because they don't trust what maybe you may be saying is maybe heard in different ways. Right?
Everything that's happened, I mean, it's been bad.
So you get in the car, you go to work. What time do you get to work around?
I'm not sure. It takes me an hour to drive out there, so 45 minutes or so.
Okay, so you're probably there by 8.
Probably.
And when you got up, where was Candace at 7 a.m.?
She was still asleep next to Summer.
What time, if you recall, did she come to bed?
So if he's up at 7, Candace is still sleeping next to Summer. Not in the car. Not taking grandma to her appointment. Sleeping in the bed. 8 o'clock. But they gotta be in Kingsport at 9.
That evening.
About the same time I did, I'd say.
So around 9 o'clock the night before?
9 or 10, something like that.
Now, in the past, you told me she used to hit, around 5 o'clock every night, and then she'd kind of zone out. Is that still in play here, or is that
5 o'clock every night?
Huh?
5 o'clock every night, I don't understand.
Well, no, that she would, take the load off of the day by, maybe having a drink or something, maybe hitting a bowl or something to that effect, back in the day during that time. I mean,
Well, we used to drink a little, but we never had any problem with we keep it pretty much at a minimum. We never had like real alcohol problems until all this happened, and then it got pretty bad.
Okay.
But,
so you recall maybe around 9 o'clock, give or take, right?
Yeah.
That
well,
she.
We're gonna have to speed this up. I mean, we need to get something. I mean, we've already been through all this.
This is, honestly, Don, this is for you, not necessarily us. Like we're just
I care about Summer.
I mean, that's what I said. There's a lot of missing kids.
Well, yeah, there are, and I've been part of it for 40 years.
Yeah, what's going on?
You're preaching to the choir, and that's why I'm trying to help you.
Okay, well, I mean, here's the thing. A lot of people on your chat said they want me to tell the truth. Okay, well, we've always told the truth, but nothing has wavered in our story.
Right. The story is consistent with a couple of. I mean, and I know. I mean, and everybody knows. I mean, they've heard it. Unfortunately, sometimes people make mistakes making statements. I mean, that's not an uncommon situation.
Well, I mean, I'm telling you the best that I can from my memory, the way it all happened. I wasn't there when Summer was missing, but I can tell you what I know from my heart and Candace's heart and what she's been through. And I've never seen anybody so tore up in my life. And I feel very, very sorry for her.
So let's
all off, all the YouTube drama. Yes.
Can we clear up the 911 rumors?
Okay.
Where, the call, to 911, and then you hear the dispatcher say that mom went on a walk. What did Candace tell you she said?
Yeah, I don't know why how that got confused like that, because Candace, I mean, she's got 4 kids there. I mean, I don't know how that got misconstrued or whatever, like it did, but it was miscommunication somehow. I don't know how that happened exactly. I'd have to ask Candace, but it was just a miscommunication because she never went on a walk. Mm-hmm. What she said was she helped mom with her knee brace, and she was always helping her mother with all kinds of things. She's getting older. And I'm sure she was telling the exact truth.
When in some of the rough interviews that you've been with, because you were interviewed, I'm sure, by the card team, by the FBI and Hawkins TBI, everybody, right?
That's right.
Okay. Yeah. And, they wanted you to do a poly.
Yeah, we all 3 done polygraphs.
They're talking about the FBI. That's something I wanted to bring up. I'd love to get your thoughts on what do you think about, we ain't really heard much from the FBI in all these years. And when they did that search, they really emphasized that the FBI handled and conducted and helped a lot with that search? Do you think it was just to give materials to do the search, or do you think there's a little more involvement with it? I always thought when FBI is involved, there's something with crossing state lines, but that could be completely wrong after I did some research.
Hey, Don.
How y'all doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. I just listening to this crap over and over and over for 2 years. It's getting old. We was a nervous wreck. We didn't know what to do. I wanted to go out and search. I even asked the police. Like, the first day, I was like, I want to go search. I'm going to go hit up some of these people in this area. And they, of course, said, fine. And we got jammed up right there on the road. It was blocked by search teams and police and everything. I mean, Beach Creek and Ben Hill Road was completely blocked.
Right.
It was crazy.
Okay. But so anyway, you eventually get a polygraph, and it was kind of inconclusive, wasn't it?
No, sir.
Okay.
No. Okay, like I said, we haven't slept for 3 days. Well, if you should know.
Yeah.
That when you take a polygraph, they want you to be real calm. They put all them devices on you and everything. They want your heart rate to come down to nothing. So you sit in a chair for 10, 15 minutes before they even ask you your first question. Well, since we haven't had no sleep, we don't even make it through. Neither one of us make it through, the first 2 questions, and we're falling asleep, and that won't work. They can't do that. So they said, go home and do your best to relax and get sleep, because we need you to be alert for this test. And that makes sense,
Yeah, that does make sense.
Right. They couldn't even do the test because we had, but when we were able to do the test with our nerve shot and everything else, we both passed. Yes.
When Candace, when you first heard the story from Candace, I mean, I want to take you not from the 911 call, but I want to take you back to help me understand and help us all understand this. You guys had, when you get there, now you're not on a cell phone. What's the first thing you guys talk about?
Well, the police were there, and they're wanting to ask questions.
Right.
Me and her are looking at each other frantically, and we're just lost. We don't know where she's at. We're trying to figure out why the police ain't going to. I'm trying to say, look, she's not here. Well, I know she's not here. You need to block off the end of Beach Creek and go over the mountain and block that. I'm thinking in my head and trying to tell them she's not here. And it's like they couldn't hear me.
Right. Okay, but that's you. What were you and Candace talking about?
I really can't remember. We were just mostly miserable and feeling a lot of pain, knowing our baby's gone, and just hoping that something happens and hoping these police can find her quickly. But they're wanting to question us, to maybe even keeping us separate, maybe. Kind of.
Okay.
Looking through our house, and then the what you call it, team forensics team shows up, and
okay.
And they're asking hard questions. They're wanting
What kind of questions were they asking you, Don? Help me understand that so I know what frame of mind they were in.
Well, at one point they told Candace, and I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm going to. And they kind of, the TBI, says, we want to know what you did with your daughter or something like that. And Candace went off and told them, F you. She had tears in her eyes. She just pretty much, go to hell, F off. I mean, and they just like shook their head like, that's the kind of the response we was looking for, kind of thing like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How did you respond? Did you hear that question?
No, they had me somewhere else. That question, like I said, I think it's kind of keeping us apart.
So did she share that information with you then?
Yes.
Okay. And how about you, when you finally had a chance, brother, to talk to her one-on-one, what were you asking her, if you remember?
I don't really remember. We're just both in shock. I mean,
Okay.
that's our baby. And we love our kids, man. We love them all very much. In summer, she was just so brilliant and smart, and we just not can't hardly believe that she's just gone. I mean, we're both in shock.
Yeah. When
I mean,
well, and then how about the boys? How were you able to keep them, you know, so that they're not freaking out either? Tell me about how you interacted with the boys that night.
I just tried to comfort them the best I can, but they the younger ones that didn't seem to bother so much at first. They just went on playing or whatever. But Josie, the older ones, they're old enough to understand more, so it's bothering them some. And I mean, I was sitting outside one evening.
What bothers me about that statement is what Jody says about Candace was blaming Josie right after whatever happened, saying, "Oh, what did you do? What did you do, Josie?" or whatever she was saying to the oldest boy. That's not fair to put that on the oldest boy, Candace. That's just my opinion. You're a shitty bitch. What did you do? You should have been around watching your daughter. Why would it be Josie's fault?
Just in tears, and Josie come out to me and says, "Dad, it's not my fault." And I says, "Josie, I know, son, I know it's not your fault." And we just hugged for a long time. So it was, it's a mess. It's a mess.
No, I get it. I think, and so what about other people that showed up? Who's this? Help me understand who this Tim guy is. I've never met the guy in my life, but he has got a lot to say. And how did he get involved in this?
He's just somebody, a good friend, turned out to be a good friend that's kind of helping me, that's been through all this stuff pretty much all his life and understands it, and is just trying to help me understand, the whole YouTube thing and all the drama.
Been through what all of his life? Has Tim had missing kids? Dawn? What I would like to know is how many emergency service dispatches have been terminated, resigned, or been promoted from Hawkins. That would be an interesting question. Are they all going to be available for court when the truth comes out?
The problems that it creates, all that kind of stuff. It's been pure hell.
Mm-hmm. And so, when did Miss Robin and this the pastor David get there?
They tried to come in, but see, they had the police staying. It was parked right outside our door for like, I don't know, a long time, a week, and then they had the road blocked off on Ben Hill for like 2 weeks or something about 2 weeks, I think, for a long time. I mean, nobody was coming in and nobody was going out for a long time.
Mm-hmm. And
except Robin was there that night. So why did you lie? Why are you lying to Chris McDonough after already telling us that Robin was there that night? Odd.
Sorry. Why do you think that Joe, is it just because he was the oldest, why he felt that way? I mean, why would he think that this was all his fault? Or was he just, I mean, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but.
I think because me and Candace was just so heartbroken that he was seeing how we was feeling kind of thing. And I wasn't really realizing that I'm not the same person at this point. I'm not giving them attention and showing them love like I probably should have. I'm freaking out and I'm not handling it too well. And I don't know why he just come up to me and said it's not my fault. And that's when I just said I know, and I hugged him. We sit there and hugged for a long time. I mean,
Sure. Yep,
I don't know exactly why.
So
Well, somebody says here in the comment, kids say things like, it's not my fault when parents are upset sometimes. I agree with that.
So Donnie, well, first of all, I want to, tell you, I appreciate having a civil conversation with you.
And the same here, and I appreciate it very much.
Okay. So, and, we may not see eye to eye all the time, but that doesn't mean we can't have these kind of conversations, right?
Yes, that's right. Can we do this another time? Maybe you
Sure.
guys can think about it, and let's
Yeah.
if we can be civil and stuff, and we can if we
Yeah.
can find a daughter and other kids, man, I'm all for it. Okay.
Yeah. And now, how can the Cold Case Foundation help you?
I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
all I
maybe
know.
you guys can talk about that, and just out of
Okay.
It's a cool
All
Case
right.
Foundation.
and go ahead.
We'll think about it. We'll think about it, and I appreciate you guys being civil. That's awesome, and we'll try to do this another time. Okay.
Sure.
Everybody's getting upset with me right now, and I got to tell you.
Well, I'll tell you this, Don, let me
do.
tell you this really fast. There's nothing for anybody to be upset about
Right.
because there is
Right.
there's nothing wrong with this conversation. And if people
Right.
don't want you to have this
Benny, Tim, we can bring you hope. The PIs. Who was upset, Dawn?
conversation with us, with Chris, then they don't have your best interest in mind either.
And Dawn never spoke to him again after this.
If that's how they feel.
I want to do it, but I have to get ready for work tomorrow and stuff. And I'd like, and I appreciate it. Like I said, that's just cool. I really do.
Okay.
And,
All
if
right,
we
man.
can, I'll holler at you later, Josh. Okay.
Okay. Sounds great, man. Take care.
All right. Thank you. Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Hey, Don.
So that's that. I have about 15 minutes left because Jody's talking about McDonough. We can listen to 15 minutes of this live.
Anyway, don't sound right to me at all. I mean, they know where Donna and Candace are. They call or they go knock in person and be like, hey, talk, and they wouldn't go about calling everybody's in Utah, whatever, They're like, hi, he's not quite, can you go tell McDonough that way it might trigger him on the gym? Or maybe Don tonight, if he hears it, McDonough, maybe he'll come like screaming out to the bar and be like, my sister said that, and then you'll get a little slip and you get some ideas. So you and Jensen can go jerk it off real good, for some more building this business up or your cold case days. We're not sure. I don't really care. It says
I showed you my messages with Jensen the other day. I do believe that Chris McDonough hired Jensen. I agree with that. Just my thoughts on it. Please go look at my last live. My third live ago. My last day I was on.
it's not working for you anymore. And it's sad that you continue having Mary playing your games. I personally am just glad that we don't have to your dad said another goddamn time in our lives. Quite frankly. Don't care how anybody feels about that. Oh well. Okay. Now that does not mean I doubt sisters, doesn't mean that I don't believe in that. I've had Don confess to me to my face about all that shit before we ever not. So no, he's still a chomo rapist piece of shit, and he will forever be one. Make no doubt about that. Okay. So and honestly, there might have been some justice for all them had it not been for McDonough's fuckery. You just never know how that might have went. Or might still go. I don't know. So anyway. I was like, well, that's a weak bitch move. Wonder if Don will fall for it though this time. He'll come right to McDonough screaming on a pedal or call a Josh or on an N-word rant or something. Sister said. And then he'll just spill all the beans on stuff going on, occurring, or they might be made aware of by LE. That way, McDonough and Jensen can follow in law enforcement's footsteps and then pull a Serafina. Rolling hills, see, we told you, let's get a beat on. ICU's not quite working in the inboxes the way she once did. Fuck her and fuck all y'all. Any of the locals with goddamn sense don't fuck with any of you. And they all know who fucking ICU is and who she comes back to. Justin, PG, everybody else, fucking around and everything. In all the cases. Shit far, y'all. Give us a break. Damn. Even when she comes under her other alts, y'all, we got her calling guard. That's all I'm saying. Everybody. So, every time y'all latch on somebody else, we're like, look.
Listen, I do believe Jody to be innocent. As far as Summer goes, as far as the money goes, I don't know. But all the stalking Jody talks about, I've also received from the same people. So all the little women bitches from over Michelle Walks with the alts, fuck you. Alt your ass right to the altar. I'm going to tell you what. You little KKK bastards.
This, and this, and these are the ones you need to look for first. These are going to be the initial inserts. This is what's going to happen after that. Don't even open them. Don't message them. If you do, look, here's how this is going to go for you. You feel me? Right. And so, it just is what it is. And I think everybody around here in Beach Creek and Sullivan and Kingsport, all the areas, Greenville and Rogersville have a right to their damn privacy, their lives, and not being ruined, annihilated, inserted upon, used like tokens, like Karen and Andy and the rest are, and the Freds and whatever, and then eaten alive anyway. Usually tossed off by some setup that's.
Notice how she put Karen in there first. Karen and Fred and some setups. I agree. Fred's sister's fishy as fuck. I went over 6 Up last night. Or this morning.
Stupider than shit and made it look like they took the credit for right, even though it was a 2-4. Y'all do you, okay? And the same creators create the terrible shit about them, lures them online, and makes them think they got to do whatever. The same one's baby in their asses, pretending they ain't, like they're defending them from it while they all work in a group. Some of the tokens are just dumber than a fucking box of rocks, okay? And they'll also do anything for a buck, so there's that. Some of them, like, fucking for sure will. Now, anyway. I tuned out of McDonough. I did. Because, you know what? I'm just going right there. There might have been a couple of. He was so wrong there. He always is. And that jargon. And if that dude says IE one more time, swear. Okay? See, there's like these things. People like, oh, Jody Sue and Don, all them. They hate fucking McDonough and Seraphine. It must be there. No! Now, Dawn, he hates McDonough because his sister and all, whatever fucking reasons he's got. Can't blame him most of the time. Seraphina, that's because Don wants to play I'm religious since Summer vanished. So he's got to stick with it. Okay? Me, I just know those like Seraphina and other stuff.
I caught clips, and I'm going to show them soon, where Seraphina tells us how her and Dawn were talking from almost day one of this case. Several times in one of them interviews with Ziggy. That's odd considering Dawn really doesn't like the psychics. That makes 2 psychics Dawn was buddies with. Seraphina and Dusty.
Psychics for what they are. They're frauds. I watched Juanita and the restaurant linked back to this group and the Bikers 4 that were going to kidnap Hunter Hills and all the shit. Live in real time, it just took a while to put all the little fillers pieces together, mostly once I made the leap over here, right? And throughout time. So, no, I want them because, and look, like, seriously, it's all this twisted up cornering, working and stuff. I just can't, okay? So anyway, and I don't want to hear a motherfucker like McDonough talk about building businesses up when all he's done is cold case, and whatever. And I got an Airstream off the backs of being 50 times wrong in a row online, trying to make my feels better about being disgraced on the national TV for life, because I could only make ignorant fucking children do false confessions because they think I'm a real big boy. Real adults think everything that dude's ever touched and his whole career should be revisited and reopened because there's probably allegedly fair use entertainment. I don't give a fuck. See me, little bitch. Probably a whole lot of motherfuckers sitting in prison that are innocent as fuck.
I don't give a fuck. See me, little bitch. Jody was hype. Hey, I do what I want. All right, guys, I'm going to end this here. I'm going to come back tomorrow morning and I'll have some chicken on a stick, some more me and Jody's call. I also want to go over Chris McDonough and Dawn's calls together. So that'll probably be tomorrow night. And then I don't know what I'm going to do for my in other news segment yet, but I'm sure I'll figure something out. I hope you guys have a good night, and I'm out for the evening. I'm actually going to go to bed early tonight so I could be up so that I could be with you guys first thing in the morning. Talk to you later. Peace and love. Give the live a like. Bye.